Okay, welcome to the tutorial for Adobe Illustrator for the VT1300 class. Today we're going to just trace around a heart with the pen tool. Now this tutorial assumes that you already know how to use Adobe Illustrator fairly well, as far as you know how to open it up, you know how to mess with your menus if you want to, you know how to use some of the tools, and at least you know how to select them, how to hold and select subgroups of each tool, that kind of thing. So first thing I'm going to do is, after opening up with Illustrator, is I'm going to open up, I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to go, let's go 500 pixels square, and I'm going to name this heart trace, and I'm going to hit OK. That's going to bring up my new artboard that's 500 pixels by 500 pixels. Now I want to come over here, and if I look in the layers palette, I see that I have one layer and it's got my artboard on it, and that's it. So I want another layer because I want one of my layers to be my template. So I'm going to create a template layer by clicking the new layer button down here and then double clicking on that name and renaming it. You can go here and hit new layer as well. Different ways of getting to it. So I'm going to have a template layer, and then I'm going to go ahead and have a drawing layer. So this is the layer I'm going to draw on. This is going to be my template layer. So with the template layer selected, I'm going to come up here to File, and I'm going to hit Place. I am going to find my heart, and your heart, you should be able to follow along with me if you want to. You should have already been given instructions on where to find this heart, or it might have been in the right next to the link to this video. So if you've already downloaded that, you find it, you hit place. After placing it, you'll see we have this really neat heart that's just bursting with love. So we want to trace around it. So I don't know, you don't have to do this, but for fun I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And when I have the selection tool selected, I can stretch this any way I want to. But if I go back to, if I Control Z, undo back to where I started, if I grab it and then hold down Shift as I do it, it constrains the properties so that it keeps the aspect ratio the same as the original drawing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to constrain the proportions and just make it a little bit bigger so I can see it a little bit better. And obviously we have some fragments and some problems with our image, but this is plenty fine just to learn how to trace around with the pen tool. I'm going to come over here to the template with the template layer still selected and highlighted. I'm going to come over here to the contextual menu, and I'm going to select template. Now that's going to do two things for me. It's going to gray it out, and it's also going to lock this layer. So now, if I try to grab it, I can't, which makes it nice for what we're doing, is because we want to be able to trace around with the pen tool and not accidentally grab it, or when we have the direct selection tool selected, or anyway, we want it locked in place and in the background, kind of, so we can draw. Now, it also, while we're talking about that, it is important that your drawing layer is on top of your template layer, or else you won't be able to see your drawing layer. You don't need to do this right now. I'm just doing this for test purposes. So if I grab the pen tool and I start drawing around, that's I can see what I'm doing. But if this layer was below it, I can't see what I'm drawing. Even though that layer is highlighted, I can see my red line showing me where the center of that line is, but I can't actually see the stroke or the weight of that line at all. If I select off it, I can't see it at all. So it's important to always remember that the order of your layers over here is directly affects what you're able to see. So because my drawing layer is on top of my template layer, it is on top of the layer on the artboard, and I can see it. So again, with that selected, I'm just going to throw all that stuff away and start over. So we're going to grab the pen tool by either selecting P or by clicking over here on the toolbar. As you'll see, as you know, hopefully you know, there are 4 tools that are subset tools of the pen tool there's the pen tool, and then add anchor, delete anchor, and then convert. And we'll be using at least 2 or 3 of those today. So really fast, we're gonna start here, right here at where the two shoulders of the heart meet, and we're gonna just click once and let go and put a point there. Now again, it's important that your drawing a layer is selected. If I had my template layer selected, it wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be able to draw because it would because that layer is locked. So make sure that your drawing layer is selected. Let's place one dot there, and then it's kind of up to you on how many anchor points we have going around this heart. I'm going to go ahead and put one, I don't know, about right there. I'm going to click and hold with the pen tool, and you'll notice if I click and hold, I get these little handlebars that come out, and that enables me to make the line as curvy and do all kinds of weird things to it that I want. So I'm gonna click and drag about to there, and I'm gonna let go. With that point still selected, after letting go here, I can just keep drawing. So I'm gonna come down to about right there, and I'm gonna draw another one. Now, as I do this, I'm probably not going to get, so far I'm doing pretty good, but I'm probably not going to get it perfect. I'll have to come back and tweak it later. So I'm going to grab this and drag it down to about right there. Down here, just for fun, I'm just going to click and let go. That's going to make that completely straight. Oh, I just realized I have a white fill and a black stroke. So let's go ahead and change that now. This is a good practice. So the problem is you can't really see that because I got a white background and this has a white background, but I actually have a black stroke going around, which you can barely see past my red line. But I also have a white fill that's covering this up, and that's why when I select it down here, you can't see the heart line behind it anymore because the fill is covering that up. So let's come over here to the colors. Right, this big square is your fill color, and the box with a hole in it is your stroke color. If you select either one of those and hit the none, it will take the stroke off, or that part off. And that was the fill. I just took it off, so there's no fill. And now you see all I have is the line. No longer do I have a white fill that was filling between that point. There was a fill that was going straight across here and covering all this part inside. Okay, I'm not going to spend any more time on that. So now we just have a black fill, and just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and over here and change my point to 2 points so I can see the black line a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure I'm on my pen tool. Now the reason that was kind of a good exercise is what happens if you have to draw a line and then you have to stop, make some changes, and then continue again. If I click here and keep going, I'm not connected to that anymore. Now I got a gap between my points. So if I Control Z, undo, back out, the way you connect back to that point is just hover over it with a pen tool. You'll see that icon changes to a / click, and now that is your active anchor point, and you can continue clicking. Now this side, I'm not going to click and hold. I'm just going to click and create straight lines to show you how you can come back and make those into curves. So now I've clicked here. My last click is going to be to close my path, and that's what that circle indicates, is that we're going to close the path. So I'm going to click there, and now I have a closed path, and I have a shape. So if I come over here and grab the direct selection tool, or you can hit the A key on your keyboard, now I'm able to come over here and select individual points if I want to. Like I come over here and I want this point a little bit over here. So let's move it a little bit, and then I can grab these handles. Now it's important that you know that you have to have the direct selection tool, not the selection tool. They work completely different. And here, see, my curve doesn't quite go as far over as I want it to, so I can grab this handle and pull it down and get that curve closer. So this is the direct selection tool is really neat to fine-tune a lot of this stuff. Okay, so now I got this side looking pretty good, but this side obviously is really choppy. So over here, the way I can change these points into straight lines with, or points with straight lines in them, to curves, or so I can get these handles pulling out and create this Bezier curve. I come over here to the pen tool, click and hold, and I can select the Convert Acorn Point tool, or Shift C. Now, so I'm going to come here to my first point, and I'm going to click, hold, and drag, and you'll see that I got anchor points. Or, I mean, sorry, handles that come out. So now I just created a slight curve there. Click and drag, create a slight curve there. Now, another thing that's kind of important to remember, if you can, is when you're doing this, always go with the stream of the line. So my line was created in this way. It was created in a counterclockwise motion. So if I click and drag in a counterclockwise or with the stream of the line, then it reacts the way I want it to. If I go against the stream, then it crosses over itself, and I'm kind of kinking and looping that. So if you ever get that, you're like, what is going on? It's because you're going against the stream. Okay, so now we're a lot closer. We've changed all of the points that we need to into curved points with curves around them, and handles so we can grab, and it's a lot less jagged now. So let's come back over here, and sorry, no, I want to grab the direct selection tool. Not moved. Okay, and let's fine tune some of these points. So this one, I'm actually going to move it a little bit like that. I'm going to grab this handle and see, play with this. Just kind of play with them as I go and get them to where I want it. This one I'm going to pull up a little bit because that curve was pointing out too much. The more you pull on a handle, the more you're pulling from that point this way. So if I pull way down, then this is going to pull the line down further as well. So the handles react exactly the way that you'd expect them to. The more you pull, the more the line pulls down. Okay, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it right now. It's pretty close. Obviously, if this was a project that was very, very important to be perfect, then you could go through and zoom in and get even closer and get really, really super close. But I think for our purposes today, that gives you a brief tutorial of the pen tool. Now if I come over here and hide my drawing, now you can see that pen, that heart, and it looks, it's okay. Could be better for sure. But that's a quick tutorial on the pen tool.